Trivia for Kids, where it's not just for adults anymore.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us again for another week of trivia. I'm Casey.
I'm Brooks.
Hi, Brooks. How are you today?
Good.
Good. How is your summer going? I've asked your sisters, but this is the first time you've been on the intro. Great. What's been your favorite part so far?
P-O.
P-O-O-L spells
Pool.
Pool. We have a really great pool/water park in our town. So it has a bunch of slides and you have to be a certain height to go down these slides. Brooks is not quite tall enough, but you have to pass a swim test. So you get like a special pass to still do the slides. And what happened?
I made it.
You made it. What did you have to do? You had to swim across the pool without touching the side or the bottom.
And I had to tread.
And you had to tread for 60
I said tread.
Yes.
Not tread.
You had to tread for 60 seconds without touching the side.
30. I thought. No, 30.
So Brooks passed, and now he's loving life at the pool. You know what else I love?
What?
Jokes.
Nice.
Joke number 1 comes from listener Coulter.
Thanks, Coulter.
I have a construction joke for you, but I'm still working on it. Because it's under construction, so it's not done, so he's still working on it.
Yeah, I get it.
Okay. Joke number 2 comes from listener Bea.
Thanks, Bea.
Why did the gum cross the street?
I don't know.
Because it was stuck to the chicken's foot. Because the chicken always crosses the street, but it had gum stuck to the bottom of its foot, so the gum got to go with it. That's awesome. Our last joke comes from listener Matthew.
Thanks, Matthew.
What did the triangle say to the circle?
I don't know.
You're pointless. Explain that joke. Why does that make sense?
The triangle has points and
a circle is just what?
a sphere.
A sphere. A circle is just round, so it doesn't have any points. So the triangle said, you're pointless. I love it. Thanks for the jokes, everybody.
Thank you.
Brooks.
What?
Are you excited for trivia?
Yeah.
Should we roll?
Yeah.
Let's roll.
Here's how the show works. Trivia for Kids consists of 5 rounds with 7 questions each. We will announce the answers at the end of each round. Each new round will have a different category. After the 5th round, we will have the final exam, which will test you on the toughest questions we have covered in the previous rounds. Everyone ready? Let's get started.
Round number 1. The category is Disney movies. Question 1. What color is Sully's fur in Monsters, Inc.? Question 2. What Pixar movie was the first full-length animated film ever made using only computers? Question 3. What movie features a robot who loves collecting trash and old treasures? Question 4. In The Incredibles, what is Jack-Jack's surprising superpower? Question 5. In Moana, what is the name of Moana's pet pig? Question 6. In Inside Out, what emotion is green? Question 7. What musical instrument does Miguel play in Coco? Round number 1 answers. Question 1. What color is Sully's fur in Monsters, Inc.?
Purple and blue?
Blue with purple spots is correct. Animating Sully's fur was so hard that Pixar had to invent new animation tools just to make each strand move naturally. You know, he's furry, and they had to make each strand move as Sully moved. And they'd never done that before in history, so they had to make new technology. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Question 2. What Pixar movie was the first full-length animated film ever made only using computers?
Toy Story?
Yes, very good. In 1995, Toy Story changed movie history. It was the first movie ever made entirely with CGI animation. So how did they make cartoons and movies before that?
They used like paper and they wrote it
They'd
on
draw
there.
pictures and they would make the movement on paper, correct? But Toy Story, all on computer. And now I bet they barely use paper at all. They probably use paper to like mock up what the characters are going to look like, but I bet most of it is done on computers now. Question 3. What movie features a robot who loves collecting trash and old treasures?
Wall-E.
Wall-E is correct. Wall-E barely has any talking parts, but still tells a touching story, just with sounds, music, and expressions. So if you think about it, there is not much dialogue in Wall-E. They sort of beep around, and it's really mostly sounds and music. That's true. I never thought about that. Question 4. In The Incredibles, what is Jack Jack's surprising superpower?
Was it laser eyes?
The answer is he has many powers. Jack Jack can turn into metal, shoot lasers, clone himself, and more. He is like a baby superhero mashup. So you're right, he does have laser eyes. But when Jack Jack gets his powers, he has like all of their powers in one. So he's kind of the luckiest one. He's like a mega incredible.
Yeah.
He's got all the powers. Question 5. What is the name of Moana's pet pig in Moana?
Pua.
His name is Pua. What's the chicken's name?
Hey.
Hey. Pua is so cute. He's that little kind of chubby baby pig that's white and grayish black.
Yeah.
He's so adorable. He doesn't make any noise, though, does he? Hey just walks around and runs into stuff and falls off the
Sometimes
boat.
if he's nervous, he does make like a...
Good one. Question 6. In Inside Out, what emotion is green?
disgust.
That is correct. Each emotion has a color. Disgust is green, joy is yellow, sadness is blue, and so on. It's based on how we feel colors. So like anger is red, and you know, when you're blue, you're sad, and when you're happy, you're yellow. So they kind of coordinate with how you're feeling. Question 7. What musical instrument does Miguel play in Coco?
Is it a ukulele?
He plays a guitar. His magical guitar was inspired by real Mexican instruments like the guitarrón and decorated with skeletons. If you could play another instrument besides the drums or percussion like you play, what
Saxophone.
you would have picked saxophone instead.
I
Is it because of
really-
the reed?
No, I really want to learn saxophone for some reason. It sounds like a fun instrument.
I think guitar would be fun to play, like to play around the campfire, or I wish I knew how to play guitar.
I wish I knew how to play
Like
saxophone.
Miguel. Round 2. The category is jobs or occupations. Question 1. What do you call someone who studies weather and predicts storms? Question 2. Who flies a plane for a living? Question 3. What job involves putting on braces and helping people smile better? Question 4. What job involves working with animals to keep them healthy? Question 5. What job includes solving crimes and catching clues like fingerprints? Question 6. Who creates the plans for buildings, bridges, and cities using math and design? Question 7. What do you call someone who studies fossils and dinosaurs? And now the answers to round 2. Question 1. What do you call someone who studies the weather and predicts storms?
A weather detector.
Ooh, good guess. The answer is meteorologist.
Oh,
They don't actually study meteors, though. Meteorologists use tools and satellites to track weather patterns and warn people about storms. I am thankful for meteorologists because if there's a tornado coming or a bad storm, we know about it so that we can get to safety. Question 2. Who flies planes for a living?
a plane driver.
What is he called?
A pilot.
A pilot! Pilots go through years of training to safely fly airplanes, even through rain, wind, and clouds. Question 3. What job involves putting on braces and helping people to smile better? So when Quinn and Ren go to get their braces checked, where do they go?
They go to the paleontologist.
To the
Odontist.
Orthodontist is correct. Orthodontists are special dentists who straighten teeth using braces and retainers. Both of your sisters have had braces. Quinn has them now. Ren got them off already. Do you think you're going to have to wear braces?
Yeah.
Yeah, you think so? I hope not. I didn't wear braces, but your dad did, so we'll see.
I bet I'm gonna.
You bet you're gonna. Question 4. What job involves working with animals to keep them healthy?
A zookeeper.
Oh, a zookeeper is a good guess. What would you call an animal doctor, though?
Oh, a vet.
A veterinarian. You're right.
Wait, is it called a veterinarian or a vet?
That's both. A vet is short for veterinarian. Vets are animal doctors. They take care of everything from puppies to penguins.
Penguins?
Sure. Penguins need
penguins?
doctors too.
Puppy penguins?
If I could go back and redo my life, I would have gone to vet school and been a large animal vet. I think I would have loved that.
I'm gonna be a basketball.
You're going to be a basketball player? Maybe that's one of these answers. Question 5. What job includes solving crimes and catching clues like fingerprints?
Police.
The answer is a detective. Detectives use logic and evidence to figure out what happened, just like in the mystery books. So you know your Jack and Annie books, how they're trying to find Morgan and figure out the clues? They're kind of being detectives. They're trying to figure out what happened. Question 6. Who creates buildings, bridges, and cities using math and design?
A builder. Bob the Builder.
How about if I said Arkansas? Arkansas. The answer is architect. Have you heard of that before?
I've heard of Arkansas, but not architect.
Okay. Architects draw the plans for buildings, making sure they are strong, safe, and cool to look at. So architects are designers of things, and they have to know a lot of stuff to make sure that the buildings they're designing are safe for people to use. Question 7. What do you call someone who studies fossils and dinosaurs?
I know this one. Paleontologist.
No, it's paleontologist. They dig up ancient bones and learn about the prehistoric world. Does that interest you? Would
Nope.
you like to dig up dinosaurs?
Nope.
Nope.
I'll help build the dinosaur bones up, but not find them.
You want to put them together once they find them, but you don't want to dig for them. Okay, I can go for that. Round number 3. The category is fruits and vegetables. Question 1. What vegetable can make your eyes water when you cut it? Question 2. What fruit is made up of segments called fingers? Question 3. What vegetable is actually a flower? Question 4. What vegetable comes in purple, orange, yellow, and white varieties? Question 5. What fruit has a fuzzy skin and is green on the inside? Question 6. The fruit that grows on a cactus and has tiny spikes is called a prickly what? Plum, peach, or pear? Question 7. What fruit is mostly water and often eaten in summer? Round 3 answers. Question 1. What vegetable can make your eyes water when you cut it?
Wait, I know this one. Onion.
Onion is correct. Onions release a special gas that mixes with your tears to form a mild acid. Ouch! Owie! I have a reel on our Instagram that shows you how to cut an onion without tearing up. It's one of the hacks I have on our Instagram page. So if you want to know the trick of how to cut an onion and not cry, look at our Instagram. Question 2. What fruit is made up of segments called fingers?
Dragon fruit.
The answer is a banana. Bananas grow in clusters called hands, and each banana is called a finger. So that group of bananas that you buy, that's the hand, and each banana is the finger.
Wait. Oh, I get why, because it looks like a hand.
It does. Question 3. What vegetable is actually a flower?
I don't know.
The answer is there are actually several common vegetables that are flowers or parts of a flower. These include broccoli, cauliflower, artichokes, and capers. These are all flower heads or buds that are harvested before they fully bloom. So when you are eating broccoli or cauliflower, you are eating a flower. Well, cauliflower. Maybe that's why it's called that. I never knew that. Question 4. What vegetable comes in purple, orange, yellow, and white varieties?
Banana.
You seen a lot of purple bananas?
Yes.
The answer is carrots. Orange carrots became popular in the Netherlands, but purple was the original color of carrots.
I thought it was white.
White's an option too. White, yellow, orange, purple. You can get carrots of all those colors. What color of carrots do we usually get? Orange. Oh, I wonder why they quit doing purple. Wonder why it stopped being common. I like purple.
What do you think it tastes like?
Same. They taste the same. That's a good question. Even though they're different colors, they all taste similar. Question 5. What fruit has a fuzzy skin and is green on the inside?
Kiwi.
Kiwi is the answer. Kiwis are originally from China, not New Zealand, and are also known as Chinese gooseberries. Do you like kiwi?
Yes, but we don't buy them.
We don't buy them very often. I don't like to clean kiwis. I find it hard to get the outside, like, brown fuzzy off of a kiwi while still keeping a lot of the fruit. So based on that, I don't buy kiwis a lot.
We used to buy them a lot. We used to.
Yeah, and then I realized that I never cleaned them and they just went rotten in the fridge because I was like, this is hard. Question 6. The fruit that grows on a cactus and has tiny spikes is called a prickly what? Plum, peach, or pear?
Prickly plum.
The answer is prickly pear.
I knew it.
This cactus fruit is sweet and juicy, but you have to peel off the sharp spines carefully.
Wait.
So you got to harvest them carefully because that cactus could poke you. And the prickly, you know what prickly means?
Yeah, like pokey.
Yeah, so you got to be careful because it's a prickly pear.
Like when we went to Walmart and you showed me that cactus and I said, is that a real cactus? And then I put my hand on it and then I came home crying because it was a real cactus.
That was when you were quite younger. There was like a little potted cactus and Brooks goes, is this real? And he just grabs it with his full palm and he lifts it up and his hand was covered in cactus spines. So he was crying and I was sitting there in Walmart trying to pull out all these cactus spikes
And then
with my hand. And then what?
And then we went home.
And then we went home.
You used it.
And I had to use a tweezer, and it was bad. But you remember it, don't you? You were probably like 1.5 or 2. Core memory when Brooks grabbed the cactus. Question 6. What fruit is mostly water and often eaten in the summer?
Coconut.
Watermelon. Watermelon is 92% water, which makes it super hydrating. And it used to be given to travelers in deserts. But do you know what has even more water than a watermelon?
What?
A cucumber.
What about coconuts?
Well, coconuts have water inside them, but like the fruit of the coconut doesn't have as much water as like a watermelon or a cucumber. Round 4, the category is the human body. Question 1. Where is the hardest part of your body located? Question 2. What tiny hairs inside your nose help protect you from dust and germs? Cilia, flagella, or uvula? Question 3. What part of your body helps you balance when you walk or spin? Your brain, your inner ear, or your tonsils? Question 4. How many thousand times do you blink each day? Question 5. What organ helps you digest food and is full of acid? Question 6. What part of your body has the most bones? Question 7. What part of your body is the first to form when you were a tiny baby in the womb? Answers to round number 4. Question 1. Where is the hardest part of your body located?
Is it in your thigh bone? Is it your thigh bone?
Good guess, but the answer is in your mouth. Tooth enamel is even harder than bone. It protects your teeth when you chew, so the enamel is like on the outside of your teeth, right? And that is the hardest part of our bodies. So kids, brush your teeth twice a day if you can. More than that. Keep them clean. Keep them healthy. Question 2. What tiny hairs inside your nose help protect you from dust and germs? Cilia, flagella, or uvula?
Flagella?
The answer is cilia.
Ooh.
These tiny hairs trap dirt and push it out like your nose's built-in cleaning crew. Question 3. What part of your body helps you balance when you walk or spin? Your brain, your inner ear, or your tonsils?
Your tonsils.
The answer is your inner ear. Deep inside your ear are tiny canals filled with fluid that help you stay upright and not fall over. So deep inside your ear, there are little rivers, kind of, that keep you balanced when you spin so that you don't fall over. Sometimes you fall over, but even as you walk, you have to be able to keep your balance. So they do a really important job too.
They do.
Question 4. How many thousand times do you blink each day?
Judging on that, 50,000.
The answer is around 15 to 20,000 times. You blink so often, your eyes are closed for about 30 minutes a day, but you never notice. How interesting is that?
If your eyes are open if you close your eyes for like 0.1 seconds, think of how many times you'd have to do that to get
to 30 minutes. Yeah, but think about that. Like even when you're awake, your eyes are closed 30 minutes a day based on just blinking. That's cool.
That's a lot of minutes.
A lot of blinking, but you got to keep your eyes moisturized, so that's why you blink.
Oh.
Question 5. What organ helps you digest food and is full of acid?
Your large intestine?
I'll give you that. I was going for stomach.
Oh.
Your stomach uses strong acid and muscles to churn food into mush so that your body can absorb nutrients. So do you ever hear your stomach after you've eaten and it's kind of
Yeah,
like...
it's just like...
Yeah, that's your stomach and the acid and the muscles working together to break up your food to absorb the nutrients and kick out all the bad stuff down into your intestines. Our bodies are just amazing.
Yeah.
Question 6. What part of your body has the most bones?
Your ear.
That's a good guess, but the answer is your hands. You have 27 bones in each hand, which help you grip, wave, and high five. If I'm not mistaken, I think your feet have one less bone than your hand. So I think your feet have 26 and your hands have 27. That's a lot of bones in this thing. But your hands do a lot of things.
I thought that it was your ears because your ears also have the smallest bone.
Yep, that's true.
So maybe they had that like times 20.
That's why I said good guess, because there are really tiny bones in your ears that you probably don't even know about.
Yeah.
Question 7. What part of your body is the first to form when you were a tiny baby in the womb?
Your skull.
The answer is your heart. The heart is the first organ to form, and it starts beating by around 3 weeks after conception. So you're like the size of a grain of rice, and you have a tiny little heart that beats.
How do they figure this out?
Incredible. Because they can see, just like in an ultrasound, they can see.
I don't believe to zoom in times like 5 billion million
I know.
Jillion.
But like when I had my first ultrasound with you guys, you were just a teeny little blob, but you could see a little like blink, 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 blink on the ultrasound because your heart was beating before you really had anything else going on. It's so cool. Round 5. The category is summer. Question 1. What flying insect lights up summer nights with its glowing tail? Question 2. What vitamin does your skin make when exposed to sunlight? Question 3. What flower is often called the king of summer because it always faces the sun? Question 4. What color of clothing keeps you coolest in the sun? Question 5. What famous summer bug that is the loudest of all insects makes a buzzing noise by rubbing its wings? Question 6. Why do we hear crickets chirping in the summer? To scare off predators? To attract mates? Or because they like to sing? Question 7. What drink is often made with lemons, water, and sugar in the summer? Answers to round 5. Question 1. What flying insect lights up summer nights with a glowing tail?
A lightning bug or a fire bug, whatever you call it.
Lightning bug or firefly. You are correct. Fireflies glow thanks to bioluminescence, a chemical reaction in their bellies that create light. We have lots of fireflies in Iowa, and you guys run around summer nights and catch them and put them in jars. That's kind of when you know that summer is here, when the fireflies are out. Question 2. What vitamin does your skin make when exposed to sunlight?
Vitamin D.
You got it, vitamin D. Just a little sunshine helps your body create vitamin D, which is great for bones and your immune system. So vitamin D is very important for your body, and the sun helps you get that. However, you got to be careful because the sun also has bad stuff like UVA and UVB rays, which can give you sunburn, skin cancer. So a little bit of sun is great, but too much can be too much. Question 3. What flower is often called the king of summer because it always faces the sun?
Daisies?
Well, the hint was always faces the sunflower. Sunflower. Young sunflowers turn to follow the sun during the day, a behavior called heliotropism. So what that means is the sun rises in the east, so the sunflower's face is facing the sun. As the sun goes up, it starts to tip upward, and then it follows the sun across the sky till it aims the other direction in the evening.
It's crazy how scientists figure this out. They're
I
just
know.
Let's look at what a sunflower does in a day.
Well, you can look at a sunflower field in the morning, and all the heads are going to be facing one way, and you drive past it at night, and they'll all be faced the other way. The whole field of sunflowers. Question 4. What color of clothing keeps you coolest in the sun?
White.
Yes, you're right. White reflects sunlight, while dark colors soak up heat. That is why people wear lighter clothes in the summer. Question 5. What famous summer bug is the loudest of all insects and makes a buzzing noise by rubbing its wings?
Bees?
The answer is cicadas.
Oh, yeah.
Male cicadas vibrate special body parts called timbals to make their super loud summer songs. So not cymbals like in a band, timbals, spelled the same but with a T instead of a C. Cicadas, they're most of the time in trees. You can find them in trees and they stand perfectly still. It almost looks like they're not alive because they're not moving, they're not doing anything. What happens if you touch them and they're still alive?
They'll buzz.
They make this super buzz sound and they fly away and it scares you to death.
Sometimes you'll think that like something on a tree is a cicada, but it's actually a cicada's exoskeleton because they shed like things like snakes and bearded dragons.
Yes, they do shed their exoskeleton. So you will see a clear exoskeleton of a cicada stuck to a tree or on the ground. You're exactly right. Question 6. Why do we hear crickets chirping in the summer? To scare off predators, to attract mates, or because they like to sing?
To attract mates.
You got it. They are looking for mates. Male crickets rub their wings together to attract female crickets, and the sound is louder in warm weather. Those girls like those sounds. Question 7. What drink is often made with lemons, water, and sugar in the summer?
Lemonade.
Lemonade! Lemonade is super refreshing because lemon juice is full of vitamin C and sugar. So it's good in smaller doses. If you're just having lemon and water, great, super healthy. Once you add that sugar, kind of cancels out the healthiness part because you're adding so much sugar to make the sour lemons taste better.
Like I've tried some of your water and I'm like, lemon water. But then I'll make some of my own and it'll be like, hey, more sugar, more sugar.
And now it's time for the final exam. Now remember, you've heard these questions in the previous rounds, but these were the hardest ones we've had. So use your memory and try to think back to what the answers are.
Question 1. What vegetable is actually a flower?
Broccoli, cauliflower, artichokes, and capers.
Question 2. What part of your body helps you balance when you walk or spin?
Inner ear.
Question 3. What do you call someone who studies fossils and dinosaurs?
A paleontologist.
Question 4. The fruit that grows on a cactus and has tiny spikes is called a prickly what?
Prickly pear.
Question 5. Why do we hear crickets chirping in the summer?
Because they're looking for mates.
Question 6. What tiny hairs inside your nose help protect you from dust and germs?
You're cilia.
You're cilia. Question 7. What famous summer bug is the loudest of all insects and makes a noise by rubbing its wings?
The cicada.
And it's time for birthdays. This week's birthday shout outs start out with a happy birthday to Frida Brave. Happy birthday, Frida. She is turning 6. She is the cartwheeling queen. Frida loves crafts, singing, her friends, and everything sparkly. She is having a Taylor Swift party in Central Park. That's awesome. Your whole family loves you so much, Frida. Frida, hi. It's your 6th birthday. You love cartwheeling and crafts and singing and your friends. You love sparkly things and you're having a Taylor Swift party. Happy birthday, Frida. Hope you have a great 6th. Happy birthday! Our next birthday shout out goes to Josie, who is turning 7. Happy birthday, Josie. She lives in Minnesota. She is so special, a thoughtful friend, and tells anyone who will listen about Jesus. Josie's favorite movie is Lilo and Stitch, and she loves Descendants and zombies. Josie enjoys playing with her puppies. She's an amazing bike rider. She can even ride 16 miles. I could not do that. She loves to hip-hop dance, figure skate, and fish off the dock. Josie would eat ice cream and freezies for every meal if she could. She is just the best, and she is such a blessing to her family. Happy birthday, Josie. You are turning 7 and you live in Minnesota. You love Lilo and Stitch and Descendants and zombies and puppies, and you're a great bike rider. You hip-hop dance and figure skate, and you're great at fishing off the dock. You would eat ice cream and freezies every single meal. Hope you have the best 7th birthday, Josie. Happy birthday! Our next shout out goes to listener Bright, who is turning 7. Happy birthday, Bright. He lives in Sarnia, Ontario, Canada. That sounds like Narnia. Bright knows everything there is to know about trains and cars. He is a great musician. He drums and sings and plays piano. Bright is funny, has made up his own language and an imaginary planet called Brontopia. And Bright recently started planning TGIF nights, making his parents dinner. That's so cool. Bright is the best. Bright, you're turning 7 and you live in Canada. You know everything to know about trains and cars. You're a great musician. You can drum, sing, and play the piano, and that is great. Bright, you are funny and you have your own language and a planet you made up called Brontopia. Happy birthday, Bright. We hope it's awesome and 7 is the best year ever. Happy birthday, Bright. Our next shout out goes to Ellis, who is turning 8. Happy birthday, Ellis. He lives in Madison, Wisconsin, and he was born in New York City. New York City. Ellis loves playing, watching sports, especially soccer. He also loves spending time with his friends, reading, math, and riding his bike. Ellis just finished the school year and he is excited for summer. Ellis, it's your birthday and you are turning 8. You live in Madison, but you were born in New York. You love playing and watching sports, especially soccer. You love spending time with friends, reading math, and riding your bike. Happy birthday, Ellis. We hope it's the best. 8 is great. Happy birthday. Our next shout out goes to listener Benji, who is turning 6. Happy birthday, Benji. He loves learning about animals, dinosaurs, and vehicles. His favorite activities are building with Legos, racing Hot Wheel cars, playing soccer, and reading to his little sister, Eleanor. Happy birthday, Benji. You are turning 6 and you love learning about animals and dinosaurs and vehicles, and you love building Legos and racing Hot Wheel cars. You love playing soccer and reading to your sister Eleanor. Happy birthday, Benji. You are turning 6. Hope you get some Twix candy bars, Benji. Happy birthday! Our next shout out goes to one of our favorite girls from Bhutan, Rewa, who is turning 8. Happy birthday, Rewa. She loves Jesus, her friends, her little sister and brother, playing card and board games and riding her scooter around the house. She rides it so much, she's almost forgotten how to walk. Rewa's favorite animals are cheetahs, gazelles, and rabbits, and her favorite foods are bao, kimbap, and semchumdatsi. Man, those were hard to say, but I bet they are delicious. Happy birthday, Rewa. You are from Bhutan and you're in the 2nd grade. You love Jesus, your friends, and your siblings, playing cards and board games and riding your scooter. You love cheetahs and gazelles, rabbits, and food I can't pronounce. Happy birthday, Rewa. Hope Bhutan is great. Happy birthday. Our next shout out goes to 2 siblings who have birthdays that are only 1 day apart. Elijah is turning 7. Happy birthday, Elijah. And Evangeline is turning 5. Happy birthday, Evangeline. Elijah loves reading and video games, and Evangeline loves catching bugs and releasing them, and the movie Frozen. They are both great dancers, and they love to do dance parties, and they are excited to go to the same school in the fall. Elijah will be in 2nd grade, and Evangeline will be in kindergarten. Go Bison! They also want to wish their 1-year-old brother, Augustin, a happy 1st birthday, which was on June 5th. So happy belated. Elijah, you're turning 7, and you love to read and play video games. You love to dance and do dance parties, and you're going to be in the 2nd grade. Happy birthday, Elijah. You're turning 7. Happy birthday! Evangeline, you are 5, and you love catching bugs and Frozen, and you love to dance, and you're gonna be in kindergarten. Happy 5th birthday. We hope it's great. Happy birthday, Elijah and Evangeline. Our next shout out goes to Harry, who is turning 9. Happy birthday, Harry. He loves playing sports, swimming, singing. He is a major Backstreet Boys fan. Legos, reading. He adores his 2 dogs, Bobby and Bear, and he loves playing with his best friends and his brother Theo. Harry is from Cork, which is in Ireland. That is so cool. Happy birthday, Harry. Yeah, you're turning 9. Yeah, you love sports and swimming and singing and Legos and reading. Yeah, you love your dogs, Bobby and Bear, and playing with your friends and your brother Theo. You're from Ireland. Happy 9th birthday, Harry. You're awesome. Happy birthday. Yeah. And the last shout out goes to listener Lily, who is turning 9. Happy birthday, Lily. She loves music, dancing, rainbows, and unicorns. And she is the kindest and most thoughtful little girl. She just moved up a level in swimming and is ready for a fun summer. Great job, Lily. Lily, you are turning 9. You love music, dancing, rainbows, and unicorns. You are kind and very thoughtful, and you're a super great swimmer. Happy birthday, Lily. We hope 9 is fine and is awesome. Happy birthday! And here's your conversation starter. Ren, what has been your favorite round of trivia that we do?
Oh, that's a very big variety.
We do have a lot of variation in our rounds.
I don't know. I like them all.
Which is your least favorite then?
Oh, that's also hard.
I feel like whenever I do history or geography,
history or geography.
you're like,
we
no!
haven't learned about either of those in our school yet, so probably those. Are
You like the
Bruce's
ones where
favorite.
you know you're going to know the answers,
Yeah.
right? I mean, everybody likes that.
Yeah.
I think my favorites are usually the animal ones because I feel like I always learn something new about different types of animals.
Huh.
Thank you for listening, everybody.
Thank you.
Hope you have the
Bye.
best week. Happy summer.
Thank you for listening to the Trivia for Kids podcast. If you haven't done so already, please give us a 5-star review. Birthday shoutouts are for paid Patreon subscribers, so join our Patreon and you can get a birthday shoutout. Don't forget to follow us on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and follow our YouTube channel so you can see all of our live videos.